Hi, I'm Noah Franklin,
I'm Alan Miles.
And I'm Noah Gaskins.
and this is your Charger Report for 2015, December 11th. First up today is school news.
It just takes some time, little girl in a little out the right. Everything will be just fine.
2 weeks ago, we had the talent show. The students of Bullitt East were able to show off their talents for the entire school population. Among the performers was Morgan Caudell singing Stay by Sugarland, featuring yours truly on guitar. Kaylee Foster, with the assistance of her father, a beatboxer boxing to the beat of Mario Kart, and several bands and countless other singers.
And now for some national and world news. After the recent attack on Paris by ISIS, concerns have been raised for the Olympics next year. The Olympics will be held in Rio, Brazil. Security will be doubled from the London Olympics, which the amount was 20,000 security guards. When asked on Fox and Friends how to fight ISIS but also minimize civilian casualties, Trump responded by saying he would kill the families of terrorists in order to win the fight against ISIS. Trump also said that, quote, "The other thing with the terrorists is you have to take out their families. When you get these terrorists, you have to take out their families."
December 2nd, 2015 marks the most devastating mass shooting on U.S. soil since 2012, where 26 people were killed in a Connecticut school. On December 2nd, it is believed that Saeed Rizwan Farouk, 28, and Tashfeen Malik, 27, shot and killed 16 people while injuring 20. It was confirmed that Farouk worked at the facility where the shooting took place. No motive has been established, but the FBI is considering both workplace violence and terrorism. It has been confirmed that Farouk was a U.S.-born citizen, while the FBI are still trying to find out about Malik. Russia began airstrikes against ISIS in Syria at the end of September, with the UK and Germany joining them recently. An ISIS-linked group also claimed it brought down the Russian airliner, which crashed in Egypt's Sinai Peninsula in October, killing all 224 people on board. And now for some election and political news. According to Chris Christie, Obama's done some pretty stupid. Christie is referring to the way the president has handled the ISIS threat in the Middle East, calling for more action from our commander-in-chief. It looks like Carson and Trump may have lost the Jewish Republican vote. Donald Trump joked about Jewish stereotypes, declined to affirm his support for a united Jerusalem, and told his audience they wouldn't back him because he did not need their money. Reading from a prepared text, Ben Carson repeatedly pronounced the name of the Palestinian group Hamas as if it were a delicious spread made with chickpeas. The performance of these two outsider candidates left attendees at Thursday's summit of the Republican Jewish Coalition amused, but not impressed.
According to the latest CNN poll, Trump stands alone at the top of the Republican field with a 36% of Republican voters. The candidates behind him are Cruz at 16%, Carson at 14%, and Rubio at 12%. And now we're going to turn it over to Skylar and Zach for Plugged In.
This past Friday, December 4th, the release of Krampus took place. Krampus is an urban legend that is essentially the counterpart of Santa Claus. Instead of promising toys and gifts for good behavior, Krampus threatens punishment for bad behavior. The rating of this movie is R, and it is categorized as a horror movie. So if you're into horror movies and the classical sappy movies about Christmas completely gross you out, this one may be for you. The synopsis is as follows. When a dysfunctional family clashes over the holidays, young Max is disillusioned and turns his back on Christmas. Little does he know, this lack of festive spirit has unleashed the wrath of Krampus, a demonic force of ancient evil intent on punishing non-believers. All hell breaks loose as beloved holiday icons take on a monstrous life of their own. The family is forced to fight for each other if they hope to survive. Also in this week news, Scott Weiland, former lead singer of Stone Temple Pilots and more memorably the lead singer of Velvet Revolver, was found in his hotel room in Minnesota Thursday, December 3rd. He was 48. He died in his sleep while on tour with his most recent band, the Wildabouts. He began to experiment with drugs and alcohol in high school after playing varsity football. He had been to rehab about 4 reported times for drug abuse, mostly heroin and cocaine, and had been to jail over 2 times for possession of heroin and violation of parole. He died in his sleep, and sources are not yet sure of the cause of his death.
This week in video game news, there are 2 notable releases. The first being Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege. This first-person shooter puts players as a part of real-world counter-terrorist organizations and puts them into close-quarter combat, going for team-based objectives. A great game if you and your friends are looking for some action.
Released November 20th, The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2 now brings the franchise to its powerful 4th chapter, in which Katniss now fully realizes the stakes are no longer just for survival, they are for the future. With the nation of Panem in a full-scale war, Katniss confronts President Snow in the final showdown. Teamed with a group of her closest friends, including Gale, Finnick, and Peeta, Katniss goes off on a mission with the unit from District 13 as they risk their lives to stage an assassination attempt on President Snow, who has become increasingly obsessed with destroying her. The mortal traps, enemies, and moral choices that await Katniss will challenge her in any arena that she had faced in the Hunger Games. This movie is number 1 in the box office with $102.7 million in revenue, with Spectre in second place with a mere $15 million.
The next release this week was Just Cause 3, where you take control of Rico Rodriguez in a Mediterranean island, Republic of Medici. Under the rule of a brutal king, you try to liberate your homeland using any method possible, from blowing up things with a minigun to using RPGs while skydiving. This free roam game will unleash your inner Rambo as you go against the whole army.
In other technological news, a secretive hacktivist group that calls themselves Ghost Security Group has declared war on the self-proclaimed Islamic State, or ISIS. The former member of Anonymous, who is now the leader of this hacktivist group, calls himself Digitus Shadow. The difference between this group and Anonymous is that they share their intel with the U.S. government. Using Michael Smith, the intelligence advisor for the U.S. government, Ghost Security Group contacts the government when they believe danger is approaching. So far, this group has disabled and deleted over 155,000 social media sites that supported ISIS and over 150 propaganda sites for the Islamic State. They have also thwarted several terroristic attempts, such as an attack planned in Tunisia. The main targets were Jews and European tourists. The lives that would have been lost would have been more than that were lost in the Paris attacks. The group actually intercepted communications between the terrorists and were able to stop the attack. This resulted in over a dozen arrests, which is more than are even known to have been involved in the Paris attacks. More news next week on the return of Samurai Jack to television.
The weather for this upcoming weekend is cold, cold, and colder. I think that Hades might have actually frozen over and we are no longer getting its heat.
Up next is our Charger Nation State of the Union report from our very own Alan Miles.
Teachers and students, for our State of the Union, we will be showcasing viewer pictures, videos, tweets, and everything else you can capture on your phone. Please send in any videos or pictures that you think are funny and or interesting for the pic/video of the week. Also remember that if it is not school appropriate, we will not put it on our show. Any citizen at the Charger Nation is eligible to win and have their name on the video or have the name and video on the show. Follow us on Twitter and send in your ideas. Follow us at BECN_State Union. Here are some events coming up soon in our Charger Nation. Next up is our Out and About report with Jared Melton.
We're here with the Field Report, and with 2015 rapidly coming to an end, we're here to ask people their opinions about the best music, movies, and video games of the year. Let's go. I'm here with
Alton Payton,
Cloudy,
Tyler,
Jacob Moore.
Matthew Snyder.
Morgan Grant.
What's your favorite video game of 2015?
definitely FIFA,
May I ask why FIFA?
because I like soccer and I don't really play video games, but FIFA. NBA 2K15.
Probably 2K16.
I'll probably go with Madden.
What's your favorite artist of 2015?
Pablo Picasso.
Probably Drake this year.
I'll say G-Eazy's.
Nicki Minaj and Taylor Swift and Justin Bieber.
Well, Justin Bieber's absolute trash.
Sherlock. Magical.
I don't know. Next question. Do you own any of his paintings?
This one.
How much you buy it for?
He gave it to me.
Are you related to him?
Yes.
What's your favorite movie of 2015? Gotta say 50 Shades of Grey.
I'll go with Creed. It's pretty nice.
Step Brothers.
I went and saw Creed the other day, but that's about it.
You think that's a good movie?
Yeah, it's a good movie. I enjoyed it. It was nice.
What's your favorite album / mixtape of this whole year?
Album, I'll say G-Eazy's. And then mixtape, probably Slime Season.
Probably What a Time to Be Alive.
Why's that?
I don't know. I feel like all the songs on there were pretty good. There wasn't really a bad song.
You like Future?
Yeah, he's pretty good.
With the Grammy nominations coming out yesterday, Nicki Minaj and Taylor Swift are both up for Album of the Year. Who do you think's gonna win?
Definitely Taylor Swift.
I completely disagree with you. I think Kendrick Lamar is gonna win because Nicki Minaj and Taylor Swift are complete trash. Looking forward to Star Wars at all?
No, I've never seen a Star Wars movie.
Okay, we're done with this. It was good talking to you, Matthew.
You too, buddy. Nice being installed with you.
There you have it, folks. Drake and Future. What a time to be alive. Nice talking to you.
Thanks. Was it Matthew?
Yes, it's Matthew. Tyler Sharp is nothing at 2K.
I like race cars.
There you have it, homeboys and girls. That was the Field Report, bro. Now off to the toilet bowl.
Today, we're starting a new segment called the Toilet Bowl, which we'll be talking about random stuff and whatnot. It's supposed to be light humor, it's going to be funny and whatnot. And today, we're going to talk about Trump and really all of the presidential candidates who are just kind of stupid, really. And recently, Trump said, as you heard earlier, let's kill all their families. Well, Trump, you can't do that. You're silly. They're people. They have lives and everything. And Carson is calling a group in Palestine a terrorist group called Hummus and they're Hamas. So what do you guys think about that? The floor is open.
We'll just go ahead and feed all the Hamas to all the healthy people out there that
I think
go to spread.
I think you mean hummus, Alan. It's hummus.
Well,
Hamas
according to him,
is the
we'll
terrorist
just
group.
feed 'em.
You can't feed them.
You could spread them on a chip. That's
No,
what
you.
mean.
They're
You
people.
can spread 'em on
They're
a
people.
chip.
You can't spread people on a chip, Alan. That's not how it
According
works.
to Ben Carson, you can.
Well, Ben Carson, golly, I swear.
Well, what are
Ben.
we going to do after we kill their families?
We're gonna kill them. That's how
Bury
this
'em?
works. You
No,
kill
we
them
gotta
all
spread 'em
one
on
at a
chips.
time.
We'll kill their families.
Oh,
Yes.
Spread 'em on chips.
golly, our presidential candidates, guys. We as a country need to think about something, because we are just so far behind. Goodness gracious, gosh, we've got hummus and Hamas killing people that don't need to be killed.
Okay, well, what if you have a son that grows up mad because his dad was a terrorist and he got killed?
Well, we can't
You
judge
can't
how
kill a tree by
someone-
cutting off the branch, Noah.
We're not killing trees. He wants to kill people. People are living. Trees are living too, but they don't walk.
I don't think that makes any.
There's a
I
tree
don't
cracking
think that's the
forest.
biggest difference between a person and
That's
a
pretty
tree.
close. That's pretty close. They don't walk. We walk. We shouldn't kill
You
them.
can't judge
Golly.
someone
Just because they
by
have
their
legs.
parents. You have to give them a chance. And if
Agreed.
they decide to do that, then we take action, but we can't just kill them.
Amen.
If they take action
Amen.
first.
Honey, you know it. It's true. All right, that's all we got. Thanks for watching. Now to this day in history with Alan Miles over there.
this day in history, in 1967, a 6.5 earthquake hit West India, killing 170 people. Also, in 2007, 2 car bombs went off at the Constitutional Court building in Algiers and the United Nations office. An estimated 45 people were killed in the bombings. Thank you for joining us. I'm Alan Miles.
I'm Noah Franklin.
And I'm Noah Gaskins.
See you next week.
Alright, fam. I'm having a deal on Gorilla this week. How much you want?
Oh yeah, I ain't for that gorilla. Some Elmer's, man. Elmer's.
I ain't happy, I'm feeling glad I got sunshine in a bag. I'm useless, but not for long. The future is coming on.
Alright, so there's 3 kingdoms situated around the sides of a triangular lake. Kingdom 1, super rich. Kingdom 2, middle class. Kingdom 3, dirt poor. One day the kingdoms go to war. Kingdom 1 has a legion of the best knights and squires in the land. Kingdom 2 has a decent army. Kingdom 3's only got 1 knight, 1 squire. Night before the war, Kingdom 1 throws a giant party. Kingdom 2 throws a great feast. Kingdom 3, all they got is a rope, a pot, and some potatoes. So they tie that rope in a noose, they put the pot on it, they throw it over a tree, they have themselves some potato soup. Day of the war. Kingdom 1, no one's leaving the party. Kingdom 2, all the knights are drunk. Kingdom 3, knight gets food poisoning. Very sad. So all the squires go to war. The war ends in a tie. So that just goes to show you, squire of the high pot and noose is equal to the squires of the other 2 sides. Didn't get that joke? Then you should go see Miss Tonelli in room 212 during 3rd period, or go to the library during 5th, 6th, or 7th period for Miss Wofford, Mr. Thornsberry, or Miss Thornsberry.
Hello, I'm Jared Ferris.
I'm Shayna Angela.
And I'm Cole Stump, and this is your Red Zone Sports Report. Up first, school sports. Congratulations to Jalen Troutman, Matt LaPierre, and Cole Stump for making first team all-district team. Jalen Troutman will also be representing Bullitt East in the Best of the Bluegrass game. Matt LaPierre and Cole Stump represented Bullitt East in the East vs. West All-Star game this past Sunday. The East team won with a score of 31-29. Congratulations to Lane Cutler for being Penn Station Athlete of the Month for December. She was recognized by WLKY and will have a chance to receive a scholarship because of this. Lane ended her soccer season with 26 assists, most of those going to Christian Foster, who scored 56 goals this year.
The boys basketball team earned their first win against Warren Central on Tuesday. The team was led by Tyler Sharp with 28 points and a solid 13 for 13 performance from the free throw line. The Chargers played Collins the following Thursday and ended up winning by 40. They also played Elliott County Saturday and won by 15. The girls basketball team had a blowout win against Presentation in their first win with a score of 85-47. The girls will play Butler and Henderson County next. The girls will head to Fort Myers in Florida, which is for the prestigious Queens of the Palms tournament, which is around Christmas time.
This past week was rivalry week for college football, and man, it was an interesting one. There were some notable upsets across the nation. To start off, number 19 TCU knocked off number 7 Baylor 28-27. Another notable upset was Houston defeating number 15 Navy 52-31. Washington also defeated number 20 Washington State by a blowout score of 45-10. Number 9 Stanford edged number 6 Notre Dame by a score of 38-36. Let's not forget that number 13 Florida State dominated, and I mean dominated, number 12 Florida by a score of 27-2. Wow, talk about embarrassing. And last but not least, unranked USC defeated number 22 UCLA 40-21. Wow, talk about upset city. This week was the definition of what rivalry week should be.
Davis is going to run it all the way back!
The Louisville Cardinals football team played the Kentucky Wildcats to claim the Governor's Cup for the 5th consecutive time, with Louisville coming out on top with a score of 38-24. At the start of the game, Louisville did not get off to the best start, but the Cardinals, after halftime, rallied for their most satisfying victory. Lamar Jackson accounted for 316 yards and 3 touchdowns, while Brandon Radcliffe ran for 2 touchdowns, and the Cardinals erased a 24-7 deficit with a victory at the end. Jackson finished the regular season with 2,347 yards of offense to break Bridgewater's mark of 2,195 in 2011. The Cards finished the regular season with a record of 7-5 and Kentucky with 5-7.
The Denver Broncos upset the undefeated New England Patriots in overtime, winning 30-24. New England was up early 21-7 while playing in the snow, and it seemed Denver did not have a chance. Then Denver became smarter and started to run the ball, which works better than passing in the snow. The Broncos then was able to tie the game up at 24 and send it into overtime. Finally, in overtime, C.J. Anderson had a 48-yard touchdown run to end the game and end the Patriots' undefeated streak.
Kobe Bryant, who over a 20-year career helped the Lakers win 5 NBA championships, announced Sunday on the Players Tribune website that he will retire after this season. He says that this season is all he has left to give. In his career, he has scored 32,683 points, even with his injuries in the recent seasons. He is ranked 3rd on the NBA's all-time scorers list and averaged more than 25 points a game. Kobe's final game is set to be on April 13th at home against Utah. It has been a great career for Kobe Bryant. Now on to the 50 for 50 field report.
The Golden State Warriors have gotten off to a blistering 20-0 start. We're going to ask some people whether they think that they can beat the 33-game win streak in the NBA, how they compare to the 96 Bulls who went 72-10, and if Steph Curry can repeat as MVP this year. I'm Tyler Sharp, and I'm here with...
It's Coach Troutman.
Are you a Warriors fan?
I am a fan of the Warriors just because they play so well together.
Do you think Steph Curry will repeat as MVP?
It's hard to say, but with me being a LeBron fan for the last 10 years, I would have to say LeBron will take MVP.
Interesting. The winning streak in the NBA is 33 games. Do you think the Warriors have a chance to break that?
I actually do think they have a chance to break it this year because they have so many offensive weapons and they have a potent, efficient offense that teams in the NBA do not like to guard.
I agree. The 95-96 Bulls went 72-10. Do you think the Warriors team can beat that record?
I think it can be done. In today's league, I know they like to rest their players if they've clinched a playoff berth and the number 1 seed. So it depends on what Coach Kerr or interim Coach Walton thinks is best for their team.
Okay. Thank you for your time.
I'm Garrett Wilson. I'm here with
Jared Reardon.
Are you a fan of the Golden State Warriors?
I am not.
Well, did you know that they're 20-0?
They're 21-0, aren't they?
Maybe so. I don't know. Do you think that they're going to break the record?
Yeah, I think so.
It's going to take a while, I believe. Do you also think that Steph Curry is going to win the MVP?
Yeah, with the way he's playing right now, I think so.
So you're a Steph Curry fan?
I'm a Garrett Wilson fan.
There you have it. Garrett Wilson for MVP. I'm Gary Wilson, and I'm here with
Zach McDonald.
Are you a Golden State Warriors fan?
I am not.
Do you know that they're 20-0?
Yeah.
What do you think the chances are that they're going to break the record?
Not very good.
That's what I was thinking. It's probably going to take a while. How does this team compare to the 97-96 Bulls?
One thing, they're missing the greatest player of all time.
So you're saying MJ could beat Steph on 1-on-1 21-0?
Oh, yeah. Easy.
There you have it.
I'm here with David Rakes. Are you a Warriors fan, David?
No, I like the Pacers.
Do you think that Steph Curry will repeat his MVP this year?
No, I hope Paul George wins it for the Pacers.
Do you think that the Warriors will break the record of 33-game winning streak?
No, but I think the Pacers will beat the record.
How do you think that this Warriors team compares to the Bulls of 95-96 that went 72-10?
The only difference is they don't have Michael Jordan.
There you have it, folks. David Rakes reporting live.
Turns out we got a lot of Steph Curry fans here at Bullitt East High School. They may be 20-0, but can they go 33-0? A lot of people said that he could. Could they win the championship? They could. Will they be better than the Bulls? They could. Thank you.
Now over to Corey and Cameron for the top 5 plays and team of the week.
We'll start with fantasy basketball. Andre Drummond is still killing it in the NBA. He's averaging 18.1 points per game and 17.2 rebounds per game. He's easily the best center in the league as of right now. If you're looking to add a solid player for your team this week, I would suggest David Lee of the Celtics. He's averaging close to 20 fantasy points a game. In fantasy football, this has been the year of the unbeaten, but only one remains. The Panthers are still going for that perfect season. The biggest story this year, though, has been the quarterbacks. This week, we had 2 more quarterbacks throw for 5 touchdowns in a game. Russell Wilson and Matthew Stafford, who both scored a big 34 points this week, which was a big surprise. If you're planning on adding a player for this week, I would suggest Crocky Gilmore, who's a tight end for the Ravens. He averages 6 points a game, which is solid for a tight end, and is a huge end zone threat.
Ronda Rousey seems she could never be beat, and people even thought she could beat Floyd Mayweather. However, that all changed when she lost by knockout in the second round against Holly Holm. Holm aggravated Rousey and got Rousey off her game. Holm then kicked Rousey in the head and sent her to the ground and finished her with a couple of punches. Everybody believes there should be a rematch, but experts do not think to have one just yet.
The MLS Cup is finally set. The Columbus Crew SC is hosting the Portland Timbers. Both teams squeaked by their competition to make it here. Portland barely made it past Sporting Kansas City after defeating them by a good old-fashioned penalty shootout. On the other side, the Columbus SC defeated the Red Bulls after blocking the Red Bulls' final shot attempt in the final seconds. Columbus opens up the MLS Cup as a 64% favorite to defeat Portland, but this should turn out to be quite a cup. Now over to Shayna with your Red Zone Sports update.
The Chargers basketball team had a great start off to their season. On Tuesday, the boys took the win over Warren Central with a score of 86-81. The Red Zone reintroduced the old Red Zone skits, such as Moses parting the Red Sea and the Red Zone roller coaster. Some of the players from the opposing team came up to some of the Red Zone rowdies and complimented them on having one of the best student sections they had ever seen. Some of the Red Zone leaders stayed after school this past Friday to teach and perfect some of the skits they performed during games. The Red Zone rowdies will be traveling to Spencer County to support the basketball team with a blackout theme. Now it's time for the breakdown.
On this day in sports history, December 11th, 1981, Muhammad Ali fought in his last fight, losing to Trevor Berbick. Ali fought 61 fights, winning 56 of them. Of the 56 wins, 37 were by KO. Ali won his first heavyweight title at 22 and is looked at as one of the greatest to ever step into the ring. Now back to Cole, Jared, Morgan, and Shayna.
Goodbye. I'm Holy Guacamole.
I'm Chip the Cookie.
And I'm Ort von Lichtenstein.